personally, when I left my job, I was doing very well. I had good fame. I had a fantastic salary. I had everything possible that a good job offers, like a multinational job offers. But something inside me, uh, was urging me, and I was not happy inside. I'll be very honest with you. Though I was doing a lot of things, I was working and earning and doing a lot of things, but somewhere within myself, I was not happy. And in my search for happiness, I came across spirituality. And through my spirituality, I came across certain values, so uh, before and after. So before my spirituality journey, everything was about I, me, and myself. And after my spirituality journey, everything was about you, we, and us. And when I turned towards you, we, and us, that is what drove me, or that was the drive, or that was the passion, and that was the the striking point for me, which changed my perspective, my whole perspective towards life, the way we live, the purpose, that I found a purpose for life. And that is what drove me to build this whole thing up.
Namaste, hello and welcome. Hello, Hiren. Hello to this episode of Extraordinary Tales. Thank you for joining us today. So I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to dive in right away. So I want you to talk to us about your journey. How did Replus Engitech come to be?
All right. So it's a long story, but I try to cover it in a few words.
Sure.
So I worked with a multinational company, Panasonic, for 17 years. And I got a very early exposure in Panasonic. I joined as a sales engineer. I climbed the ladders. And I got a very early exposure, especially in eco and environment. So Panasonic is always trying to make an impact on every home. And they are trying to do this by energy efficiency or bringing products which are economically and environmentally friendly and so on. So in 2008, we all know that Tesla launched their first electric car. And this was in collaboration with Panasonic, because Panasonic was the cell supplier for this car. So I got very, very early exposure in that sense. I was a part of Global Advisory Committee, which recommended Panasonic on the future technologies. So when I saw this breakthrough, I was very inspired by the story. And oil and gas are depleting resources. We all know there's always a global crisis and a fight going on for oil security and so on. So I thought that this is something which can replace oil, and it is environmentally friendly. So I bet my life on lithium-ion batteries. And by this early exposure, I made a global report on what can be the demand, how it can be used in different applications besides car. So this is where I, got the initial, hands-on something which was really big and upcoming. So this is just the beginning part. I was so influenced by the technology. I recommended Panasonic to start or to bring a global factory in India. Unfortunately, it did not happen. Panasonic management wanted an anchor customer. I tried making a joint venture collaboration with Tata,
Right.
but somehow it did not fly off. I was very disappointed. Then I left Panasonic and I joined another company. It's a Taiwanese company called Delta.
Okay.
And they had acquired lithium-ion battery division of Mitsubishi. So Mitsubishi, again, they wanted to relocate the plant from Japan. I recommended them to bring it to India, but unfortunately, again, did not happen. So this is somewhere I got a spark and I said, let's not depend on the multinationals and let's not depend on somebody to decide our career and our fate. So I jumped into it. I thought, let me do it by myself. So this is the first thought where the Panasonic, where Replus Engitech was born.
So, okay, now you will have to explain to us, just for the benefit of all the listeners. So we are moving towards a sustainable future. So we are moving away from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources. Right. Now, what is the application of battery energy storage systems? BESS is what you are doing, I think. So if you can explain to us how that works.
All right. So we all know that sun is available only throughout the day and wind is seasonal.
Yes.
So what happens is when we connect these renewable sources of energy to the grid becomes vulnerable. So for example, there is a huge solar park like 200 megawatt, 500 megawatt. These are the sizes which are coming right now. So when you connect a huge solar park to the grid, and a cloud will pass by from on top of this solar park, the generation will suddenly drop. So when the generation drops, the load is more, the generation is less. This creates multiple issues in the grid. So the primary idea is we use the renewable energies, and the more we use renewable energy, we need to have some stability in the grid. So to bring stability, what we do is when the generation is high, we store that energy into the battery systems. And whenever the generation drops, the battery will take over. And at the grid coupling point or towards the load, you have a very stable power supply all throughout the day. Another application is that sun is available only in the daytime. And our peak demand is early morning or late evening because everybody use multiple appliances in the morning. People use heaters, water heaters, and many other applications. So the peak demand comes in the morning and in the evening, but sun is generating only during like between 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So, and the maximum load is between 6 o'clock in the evening to 10 o'clock in the night. So what we do is in the daytime when the sun is generating, we store that energy into the battery. And in the evening when the load is very high, we discharge that battery and we meet the load requirement. So in short, these are the major applications, how the battery energy storage is used along with the renewable energy. Of course, there are many other applications, but they are more towards power quality. So we have to have a power factor unity, and there are certain stringent norms. So as more and more renewable sources of energy will come into the grid, there will be requirement for frequency regulation because our frequency is 50 hertz. We cannot deviate plus minus 10% beyond 50 hertz. And also the voltage. So when solar or wind is generating, it shifts the voltage up. So that can damage our appliances, that can damage the substations and all. So voltage regulation, frequency regulation, power quality, power factor correction, these are additional applications which will come going forward in the future.
So just now you're saying, okay, these systems are, would I be correct in saying they're connected to the grid? But ordinarily for people like us, maybe we would understand something like EV, this application. So where else do you see, or are you already catering to other sectors?
Yeah, I'll tell you. So there are two major businesses that we do. And also let me give you the background for that. So when we started Replus, there was a lot of thought which we put as a team together on where we should start and how we should go about this entire business. So the first thing is, of course, EV is a very, very good application for battery storage. And we are replacing oil like diesel and petrol, and we are bringing down the emissions. But when we did some research, we did extensive research on how this technology can impact, the climate issues, the CO2 pollution, the depleting resources, and so on. So when we did the research, we found that the vehicles, the IC engine vehicles, which is the petrol and diesel vehicles, contribute to only 18% of carbon emissions. Only 18%. So even if we replace all the vehicles in the world by electric vehicles, it will only create an impact of 18%. So we then researched on where is the other carbon emissions coming from. So we found that the biggest contributor is our thermal plants. We have thermal plants which use coal. And almost to the tune of 35% comes from thermal plants. and almost another 25 to 30% comes from commercial and industrial applications. Like we have large manufacturing units, the plants like the steel industry, the cable industry. So manufacturing industry and added together with the thermal power plants. And of course, now we are changing the railways to electric. But in the past, the railways were also using diesel. So railways were also a very big contributor of CO2 emissions. So then we thought, we address only electric vehicle market. It's not creating a significant impact. So let us not start with electric vehicle. Let us start with cleaning up the grid first. So now to clean up the grid, we have to replace the thermal power plants by environmentally friendly and eco-friendly technologies. And the best technologies that we have, because of our geographical location, we have very good sun available throughout the year in most of the parts of India. And we also have very good wind, especially the south coast. India is a peninsula. So we are connected to the Arabian Sea, we are connected to the Indian Ocean, we are connected to the Bay of Bengal. And the 3/4 of the land parcels surrounded by the sea has very good wind, almost for 8 to 9 months in the year. So renewable sources of energy are clean, non-polluting, but they have limitations. So we thought, okay, if we have to really penetrate and bring renewable sources in the mainstream, then let us address the challenges and problems. And to address the challenges and problems, the best way is to use the battery energy storage system. So that was our first step of going towards sustainability by bringing large battery energy storage systems, coupling them with the renewable sources of energy, and cleaning up the grid first. As a second step, now we are working on C&I applications. So every factory has a DG set, and every factory has some kind of pollutions, emissions. Now we are trying to clean up the commercial and industrial application area. So then the third step will be at the consumption side. So electric vehicle batteries, we manufacture the electric vehicle batteries also. And then we will move to the consumption side. So if you look at it, like, it is all interconnected from the generation to the transmission distribution to the commercial and industrial application to the electric vehicle. So these are the 4 pillars which we are going to clean up as a Replus Engitech for private limited.
So I think that's wonderful. But now, how long, or are you already on the project, or are you building something towards it, like a facility? How do you go about it?
All right. So the large energy storage projects which I'm talking about at the generation side, in India, it is a tendering business. So there are large, government tenders which come out, and there already a drive has already started. So thankfully, the central government is very supportive. They also realized, and they have also launched a national energy storage mission, under which they want to bring in more renewable source of energy into the grid. So the plan is by 2032, we want to have at least 30% or 33% of generation coming from renewable sources of energy. And by virtue of that, the thermal power plants will retire slowly. India will move more and more towards renewable sources, nuclear power, biomass, and cleaner sources of energy. This also helps because we import coal from Indonesia. We import, of course, we have our own coal, but again, we have to mine, and it's a depleting resource. We cannot keep mining forever. We are actually also affecting the planet by mining. So it's a good mission that government has launched, and by virtue of that, a lot of our business that comes from the grid side comes from tendering business, and we are participating with large partners, and we are giving them these solutions. To be very honest, right now we have very, very large projects in the pipeline, and in the next 1 or 2 years, you can see a lot of battery energy storage solutions coming in the market. On the C&I side, we have made a conscious approach. So what we did was, we started with low-hanging fruits. We started with certain industries which can pay and absorb this technology, and it is basically more of a burning issue for them. So, for example, resorts. People go to the resorts. Resorts are always located in very exotic places.
Correct.
Either they are at the beach side or in the mountains and things like that. So there, the grid is already always like vulnerable. Two, people go there for refreshing themselves, and when the grid is not available, they are using the DG sets, which is carbon polluting, and also for the people who go there for peace and harmony, it creates noise issues, it creates pollution issues.
Yes.
So these are the people who have accepted and adopted our technology, and now more and more resorts we are trying to put in battery energy storage and replacing the DG sets. The other industries which are absorbing or adopting: cement, steel, cable manufacturing. So these guys have also understood the importance of battery energy storage, and also they have also understood the cost of operation, or cost of operation for a DG set is very, very high. And especially now the trend is moving towards green steel. You must have heard about green steel.
Yes.
So if you use green sources of energy, you get a certificate for green steel, and you can charge a premium for the green steel. Similarly for cement industry. So these things are happening. People are becoming conscious. Industries are becoming conscious about how they consume power, and how they would like to divert or move away from traditional oil and gas or coal-based power to greener sources of power. Another thing which is happening in the industry side is hydrogen. A lot of people are exploring hydrogen fuel cells, which is again a very good thing. But hydrogen by itself does not work, by itself. Like, I mean, of course, you can do the hydrogen electrolysis and you can generate clean power. But again, the electrolyzer also requires a clean source of energy. It doesn't make sense to use a coal power plant to use for an electrolyzer. It doesn't make sense. So people are using solar with our battery, and this electrolyzer is powered by solar with battery, and we are able to address or we are able to in fact complement the hydrogen fuel cell industry as well, which is being adapted more and more towards the C&I segment. On the electric vehicle side, we already made progress into light commercial vehicles.
Okay.
We made progress into two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and we have also made a bus battery pack. We are now working on a truck and tractor. So, I mean, in a way, we are going to change the way and look how this industry looks like.
Fantastic. So, but do you have some kind of a manufacturing plant already in place, or are you coming up with something, or how are you meeting this demand?
Sure. Of course, the demand is, soaring, and a huge demand is coming up. So luckily, we found an investor in our company, and we are financially backed by LNG Bhilwara Group.
Right.
Bhilwara Group has been traditionally into textile business. They also have a graphite electrode plant, which is making graphite electrodes for large steel industries. This company is called HEG. This company will also make graphite anode for lithium-ion batteries, for lithium-ion cells. Okay. That plant is upcoming. It's another sister company of ours.
Right.
So financially, we are 100% backed by Bhilwara Energy Limited. They are into hydropower, which is like generating power from water, using the natural flow of water. Right. So they have plants in Malana and Manali, and they have been into clean energy since a long time, since almost 1992. Wow. They have financed us, and by virtue of that, there is a gigafactory which is coming up in Pune, and I'm happy to share that this factory will start operations from next month. 25th of July is the target date for inauguration of this plant. We'll be happy to invite you and have you here with us.
We're happy to come. Very happy to.
Yeah, and so here we will be manufacturing battery packs for all kinds of applications. Whatever I spoke about,
yes.
Large, large battery packs, containerized systems for the renewable integration. We will make for C&I application, commercial and industrial application. We'll make for the electric vehicle applications as well.
Right. So when you say gigawatt factory, so now what is the demand according to you in India that we are looking at, and how much do you think, okay, what is your contribution to it? And how much more is the demand supply?
Yeah.
And how are we
So
going to fill this gradually?
Yeah, I mean, by 2032, it is estimated that India will need around 500 gigawatt hour of battery.
Okay,
So this is just 1 gigawatt hour plant that we are putting right now. And this is just a humble step that we are taking. Of course, there are not many manufacturers who have, I mean, India is very low on manufacturing right now for these batteries.
Right.
Most of the demand is being catered from other countries, from Korea, from China, from Japan. So again, this is one of our initiative of towards Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Yes.
So we want to bring this manufacturing to India, and this is a one small step towards a very, very big leap that we are going to take. So this plant is scalable up to 5 gigawatt hour. But as I mentioned, the demand will exponentially pick up. So right now, of course, the demand looks small. To be very honest, for the next 2 years or 3 years, the demand is going to be somewhere close to 10 gigawatt hour or 12 gigawatt hour. Out of that, we will cater to 10% or 15% of the market.
Right.
But as we go and the demand will grow exponentially, as I said, it will grow towards 500 gigawatt hour. So we will also scale up. Multiple plants will come up.
Yes.
We'll start from Pune. The first plant is coming near Pune, but we are exploring setting a plant in Gujarat. We are exploring setting a plant in southern part of India, in northern part of India. So depending on how well we do, how well our products are accepted in the market, and how the demand will pick up, definitely we have a plan to come up with more and more manufacturing units. Not only that, our tagline is from India to the world. So we want to bring our products and solutions to other geographies. Fortunately, this industry, this battery energy storage, the key pillar is battery management system. Battery management system is the brain. It's a main controller which manages the charging, discharging, and multiple things in the battery. And this is electronics. This is embedded hardware and software. Fortunately, India has a dearth of resources available from this background, from this industry. We are having a lot of talent, a lot of engineering people who come from electronics, electrical, and microcontrollers, microprocessors, and IT background. So fortunately, this is the handle for the battery energy storage business, and we have ample of resources available. We would like to employ, and we would like to contribute to the society by virtue of hiring these talented people, hiring more and more people, creating more jobs, and then making products and solutions and bringing them to the world. So that's why we say from India to the world.
Okay. But so just now, if you're saying the demand is about 10 gigawatt hours, and we are catering to maybe 10% of that, your company is. So is Replus the only company today in India doing this, or do we have others contributing as well?
So there are a lot of other people also. I mean, let me tell you that for the electric vehicle two-wheeler, there are a lot of companies, startups similar to us, maybe smaller than us, some are equal to us, some are bigger than us. There are a lot of companies. I can tell you there are at least 40, 50 odd battery assembly companies in India at this moment. Unfortunately, they are in bits and pieces, they are scattered, and they are also catering to certain specific applications. As I mentioned, two-wheeler, three-wheeler.
Yes.
So those people are able to cater to those kind of applications. Very few people in the large-scale battery energy storage, the ones which are required for grid support or for large renewable integration farms and for C&I applications. There are very few people. Of course, traditionally, India has been a very large lead-acid battery market. So there are two major stalwarts like Amaraja and Exide. These are the two largest companies that have been very, very dominating in the industry so far. They are also putting their hands into lithium-ion batteries. Nice. So, I mean, as the demand will grow, there will be a share for everybody. But right now, in the stationary storage side, I can say that we are leading the pack. In the electrical vehicle side, consciously we have taken a backward step, and we are going very, very consciously into that particular market. And eventually we will also grow our share of business in that area.
So I believe that this will somewhere, since it's scattered, like I think in most industries, this will see a consolidation somewhere going forward.
Absolutely, there will be a lot of consolidation as we go forward, because see, battery business is, it's a deep pocket and a very long-term business.
Correct.
For example, the battery that we deploy at a solar farm, the life of this battery is 10 years, and it will easily work for 12 years. It means that you need to survive. I mean, even if you die is okay, but your company should survive and service for 10 to 12 years. So it's a very, very long short business. It's a very, very long horizon business, and a lot of consolidation will happen. A lot of acquisitions will happen. A lot of partnerships will happen. Global companies will also jump in. So I mean, I look at it this way, that the pie is going to get bigger and bigger. As the pie will get bigger and bigger, there will be big players who will acquire smaller players, and there will eventually be 10, 12, 15 good strong players in the market who will evolve.
Okay. So now you tell me about this interesting project that you took up, which is lighting up the Modhera Sun Temple and the entire village. I think it's the first village in India which is lit up.
So
yeah, tell me please.
It is a very proud feeling to share about this project, because it is everything that Replus talks about. So we were born because of sustainability. We were born to make a positive impact on the planet. We were born to create a social impact. We were born to make things adaptable, smarter, safer, and sustainable. So this project has every ingredient that Replus is all about. So actually what happened was, when we started our company, immediately lockdown happened. So when the lockdown happened, everything came to a standstill. And luckily, fortunately, I mean, it's basically God's grace and also some good karmas that probably we would have done. We got some interesting projects from some of our key customers whom I was working with in the past. So for example, I was very well connected with Tata Group. We tried to do a JV. And in a way, when I shared this idea about starting Replus, I got blessings from some of the very, very influential people from Tata board. They have mentored me, and I got some consultation projects from them during the lockdown, which helped us to survive. Lockdown, in fact, was a blessing in disguise for us, because we were all working from home. Our operations cost was zero, and we got very good opportunities. The subject was very interesting. Battery energy storage. It had just created a buzz in the market, and then lockdown happened. So a lot of people wanted to learn what is this battery energy storage. So we did a lot of consultation job. And during this time, we came across one customer, which is Mahindra Sustain. And Mahindra Sustain wanted to make a small project. They wanted to make a 10 feet container, which can replace a DG set. And this will have battery energy storage inside. It will have the PCS, the power converter system, and the energy management system.
Right.
The idea was, Mahindra had already launched electric vehicle, and they wanted to look at how this 10 feet container can be transported. You can take it to a point where this container can be charged, and you can transport this container to charge electric vehicles, or to replace the DG set. So they wanted to explore this application, and we helped them build this application. Of course, we got the order from them, and it was a humble beginning, but one of the first few customers to give this kind of an order to us. So we successfully executed this project.
Yes.
And during this time, this tender of Gujarat Power Corporation Limited for the Sun Temple Modhera came.
Yes.
So while we were working with Mahindra Sustain on designing and building this container, I told them, why don't we participate this project together? And the team got very excited, because I knew this project is going to be one of its kind.
Yes.
It is today India's largest microgrid. It is a model village for the whole of the world, not only India. It is a model village because this village is powered by solar power 24/7. So in the daytime, the whole village is using the solar energy, and also the batteries are getting charged by the solar energy.
Correct.
And throughout the night, from 6 o'clock in the evening until morning 6 o'clock, till the sun starts generating again, the batteries are discharging and the whole village runs on the battery. So it is 100% solar powered village. We participated the tender with Mahindra Sustain as a technology partner. They won the tender and we helped them to execute this project. So in a way, the EPC contractor for the project was Mahindra Sustain.
Okay.
The battery part and the technology part was done by Replus, by my company. So yeah, I mean, the best part about this village was not only we have a solar park which is generating electricity, the villagers also participated in this project. So there are 2,300 houses in the village,
Right.
out of which 1,600 houses offered their roof to put solar panels.
Okay.
On their roof, and we did net metering. So in a way, the village is also generating in the daytime. They are consuming the solar energy and also charging the battery. And then in the evening, they are consuming from the battery. So on an average, these 1,600 houses, wherever we have put the rooftop solar, because they are also contributing for the generation and charging the battery, at the end of the month, when we do the net metering and we give them the electricity bill, on average, every house is earning 100 to 200 rupees. So rather than paying for electricity, they are earning an income.
That's great.
So this is the best part about this township, and 100% sustainable concept, sustainable technology. The other effects or impact of this project was it has changed the lives of the people in that village. So, for example, this village did not have electricity for almost like 12 to 14 hours in a day. The way people do farming there has changed. So earlier they're growing only one type of crop. They're only growing cotton. But now they have started growing multiple other crops. So the farmers' lives have changed because electricity is there. They are able to do bore well. They are able to pump water. We visited a school and we interacted with the principal of the school. He proudly took us to a seminar hall and he showed a projector. So now they have a Wi-Fi connection. They have a projector. And they are taking classes on these kind of latest equipments. There was one particular housewife with whom we interacted, reasonably okay, doing business wise, economically. So she said, earlier I had money but I could not purchase an air conditioner, but now I have an air conditioner because it's very hot area. That area is very, very hot and dry. So she proudly showed us that now I purchased this air conditioner and my quality of life has changed. So this is the kind of social impact which has happened in that village. The villagers have also contributed in this significantly in this project. Another part is not many people know there is a very famous sun temple which is there in that village.
Yes.
And it is very underrated so far. It was very underrated so far. But this is the India's first sun temple. I mean, the Konark sun temple that is very famous.
Yes.
This is the second sun temple, but this was the first sun temple.
Right.
Similar technology, you can calculate the time, you can calculate the seconds, you can calculate based on the sun's position and the shadow and things like that. It's a marvel in itself. Right. So very underrated, but archaeologically of great significance, importance. So this has now become a tourist attraction. There are a lot of people, visitors, travelers. It is a part of vibrant Gujarat. Yes. A lot of G20 summit happened there. A lot of summits are happening there. Gujarat government is promoting it as a tourism village, as an eco-friendly tourism village. So most of the vehicles which are used now in that village are electric vehicles, two-wheelers, three-wheelers, as well as four-wheelers. The taxis are mostly the four taxis which are there are mostly electric. And at the Sun Temple site, we have put around 8 chargers, which are again powered by the solar power.
Okay. So you have put this village on the global map.
Absolutely, this has put this village on the global map. The United Nations Honorable Secretary visited the village, and Mr. Antonio Guterres,
Yes.
and he declared this village as a model township and an inspiration to the world. And he said this is the first time he came across an example where the people of the village or the people of the community have participated with the people of or the government jointly together to build a project like this. So it's a very, very proud feeling that we are a part of this project and we were able to execute and demonstrate such kind of technology in the world.
You have every reason to be proud. We are proud of you too. But is this being duplicated anywhere? Is something else?
Now multiple multiple locations are coming up. In fact, Gujarat is taking the lead.
Yes.
And now they want to set up at Dwarka, they want to set up at Somnath, they want to set up at places of historical importance or archaeological importance. So in a way, there is a part of vibrant Gujarat and initiative of government of Gujarat. The locations which are of mythological, archaeological, and tourism importance, they are converting all of those places to similar models.
So will it be the entire village again, or the township, which is going
It will be,
to be just the site which is of historical importance?
If they want to do a complete township, it is also possible.
Right.
But probably what they are doing now is they are doing as a community storage.
Okay.
So maybe the temple area or the places where these locations are there or archaeological sites are there. In those areas and those communities, probably they'll build these kind of plants.
But have you received any kind of inquiries from any of the state governments for the entire village, just as to replicate the Modera model? The entire village?
Yeah, I mean, there are multiple state governments with whom we have interacted. Especially, a lot of interest was shown by Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. A lot of interest was shown by Himachal, Uttaranchal, because they have beautiful places. They have Spiti Valley.
Yes.
They have locations of amazing geographical and tourism importance. And right now they have power crisis there. Yes. So a lot of governments approached us. The current hurdle is probably the way when they do the research on the cost versus the return of investment, probably the maths is not suiting them right now. But we believe that once we start the manufacturing locally in India, and we will localize 100% of this solution in India, then probably we will be able to bring down the costs and we will be able to cater to them. But a lot of buzz happened, especially islands, Andaman Nicobar Islands, our Lakshadweep Islands, also the as I mentioned, Jammu Kashmir. A lot of things are happening there. There are a lot of research and a lot of studies going on right now. We are helping them in our own way, whatever we can, no matter who gets the business. But as a community service or as a social service or as a service to the industry, we always help them and we always tell them that this is the size, this is the area that we require, and this is the kind of investment which will be required. We are also approaching certain banks like Asian Development Bank, or there are funds which are available from United Nations, or there are funds which are available. So if, to accelerate this program, if such kind of green energy funding is available, right, then probably we can go on a spree and we can put these kind of applications anywhere and everywhere. Interest is there, people want to use, but the current bottleneck is the funding and investment. So if there are initiatives, funds, and green initiatives from government, banks, and NGOs, then we can accelerate, the penetration of these applications.
But do you see that kind of interest spiking in the sense that investment, because I know funding always becomes
government approaches to bring down the costs in two parts: by bringing very large projects into the country, and two, by encouraging local manufacturing. So they feel when the volumes will be there, You
Yes.
bring large projects in the country, and the volumes will be there. Automatically, it will bring down the price. Two, also, when we localize these products and solutions, we try to bring down the costs. So on both aspects, we are also working with government. And the one of the idea of coming up with a gigawatt factory is to bring down the cost by localizing every component that we use.
Correct.
And we are also participating in the large projects, because if government is bringing large projects, but there is nobody to do or execute those projects, then again it becomes a bottleneck or a hurdle for the growth of the industry. So we are enabling our partners, we are enabling enough people in the industry, and we are encouraging them to invest in these projects, and we will support them as a technology partner, and we will provide them these solutions. We are also giving them the warranties, guarantees, and we are also able to provide them enough engineering support to take on these projects. So this is how we are working right now, and these are very, very significantly large projects. Like, they go to the tune of investments which are like to the tune of 3,000 crores, 4,000 crores,
Sure.
5,000 crores, and so on. So the big daddies can participate these projects, like Tata, Mahindra, and Hero, Renew. These are the large players who participate these projects, and we are the enablers for them.
Okay. Great. So one last question before we let you go is that I obviously see that you're very, very passionate about what you're doing. But I want to understand from you, what does passion mean to you? What are the hurdles? Obviously, we've seen your journey, but we've only heard that what you're doing, not the challenges that you have overcome. So how do you view this? How do you view your passion, and how does
So, yeah, I mean, to be very honest, every success story has a humble beginning and has gone through a lot of challenges. I will not deny that.
Yes.
Personally, when I left my job, I was doing very well. I had good fame. I had a fantastic salary. I had everything possible that a good job offers, like a multinational job offers. But something inside me, was urging me, and I was not happy inside. I'll be very honest with you. Though I was doing a lot of things, I was working and earning and doing a lot of things, but somewhere within myself, I was not happy. And in my search for happiness, I came across spirituality. And through my spirituality, I came across certain values, so uh, before and after. So before my spirituality journey, everything was about I, me, and myself. And after my spirituality journey, everything was about you, we, and us. And when I turned towards you, we, and us, that is what drove me, or that was the drive, or that was the passion, and that was the the striking point for me, which changed my perspective, my whole perspective towards life, the way we live, the purpose, that I found a purpose for life. And that is what drove me to build this whole thing up. So we had bad days, we had good days, we had excellent days, we had really worse days. So there were times when we did not know what is going to happen tomorrow. I started this journey from my house. I have an old house in Pune where my mother lived. She was very kind to allow us to start the company from there. And while we were working there, we used to have conferences calls, and we used to have video calls. And she had to sacrifice all her peace, and she had to sacrifice all her TV serials and the movie serials and all those kind of things, because being in lockdown and all throughout the day we are in the house. And there were a couple of people who joined me in this journey at a very initial stage. They believed in my vision. So I have a couple of co-founders who believed in my vision. There were a couple of employees who joined me, and I'm grateful to those people because they agreed to work without salary. There were days when we said, okay, my mother was there, she was cooking food for everyone, she was making tea for everyone, she was doing things for us. So there were days when we said that we'll have food to have, but we may not have salaries, but we may not have money. And we have spent those kind of days. We have seen those kind of days. There were days when we were doing cold calling, and people used us. Like, I mean, they took advantage of our situation. They learned things from us. They, but that's okay. It's part of life.
Yes.
There were days when very good people, blessed us. Very good people gave us certain projects that helped us survive. So we had good days, we had bad days. End of the day, we told ourselves every day when we went to sleep, no matter what, we would have given up on that particular day. We would have lost the battle on that particular day. But the next day morning, when we wake up again, it's a new day, it's a new beginning, and we again go back to the war, and we will give in our best, and we will fight to win, not to lose. We will fight to win. With that spirit, we kept going. A lot of credit I will give to the spirituality, and I must share that I'm a part of Isha Foundation.
Yes.
I got a lot of encouragement and a lot of motivation by watching Sadhguru's videos, by going through certain practices which he taught. And whenever I was in doubt, or whenever I was having those bad days, those spiritual practices and those videos and those learnings helped me to keep going on and on.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I'm grateful and thankful to Isha Foundation and to my guru, Sadhguru.
Yes, absolutely. And incidentally, for the benefit of listeners, I think that is where we met.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, on our journey to Kailash with Isha
Yes.
Foundation. I think
That's right. And that was a turning point in my life, because before that I was not a part of Isha Foundation. To go to Kailash, I did everything that is possible.
Yes, yes, including the program in Nepal. I remember the last.
That's
time.
right. So
Yes.
to go to Kailash, I did everything possible because I wanted to live that moment, being at Kailash and being at that spot and exploring myself, taking that inner journey. And after I came back from Kailash, I got a lot of clarity of thought. I got a lot of clarity in my mind. And that is when I took up to this challenge, because earlier also I had these thoughts of doing something, contributing to the planet, contributing to the society and other things. I had a lot of energy,
Yes.
but I did not know how to channelize this energy, and I did not know how to create a positive impact. But after I came back from Kailash, I had a lot of clarity of thought, and the most important point was I got the courage
Yes.
to take the leap.
Yes.
So before that, I had everything but not courage.
Yes.
After I came back, I had the courage to just go for it. And with the leap of faith, I jumped into it. And I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to my guru that we have reached so far.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Hiren. Thank you so much for speaking to us, because it's been a wonderful, wonderful talk that we had today. So insightful. And I wish you the very best.
Thank you so much, Ami. And
us to offer to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ami. And I'm grateful to you for this honor. And as always, keep inspiring. And as always, do your best. I'm always there.
Yes.
And it's really great to connect with you. It was a wonderful experience, traveling together to Kailash.
Yes.
And I hope we continue to make positive impact on the lives of everyone.
I'm
Thank
sure.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. So
Thank you. Thank you.